bolt them on. They're similar to this little pointer I got. It's a little bit flimsy. It can be bent, manipulated. So I always take and I use my indicator that on the piston again. I throw my degree wheel back on. I find my top dead center. I make sure it's perfect, and then I'll take and make that pointer for the timing light read dead zero on my harmonic balancer, because those, I've seen those that are 3 or 4 degrees off. And if you're trying to set your engine timing at 36 degrees at full advance, and that's 3 degrees off, all of a sudden you're shooting 39 degrees, or it's only 33 degrees because it's, you know, a little low on power. So just always check your timing tab. It's just so easy to do this with, you know, when you've got a degree wheel, just to verify that that is correct. You might actually bolt it on and it lines right up, and you're gonna think I'm crazy, but there is I think that there's a necessity to check that. That's all I'll say about it. And hopefully this degree in the camshaft thing doesn't look too intimidating to you anymore. After I get this thing all built, I might go over what I would think is my theory, the way my mind works on how an engine makes power and what the camshaft changing does to allow that, and why you change that lobe separation angle between the intake and the exhaust valves and the valve overlap, and combustion chamber size, rocker arm ratio, how all of that affects the engine, and how that valve overlap, those exhaust gases leaving the cylinder as the intake valve opens, that inertia of that air leaving the cylinder can start sucking the intake air into the cylinder, you know, before the exhaust valve closes, instead of the piston, you know, just coming down in the bore. And the piston coming down in the bore acts like a syringe. So if the intake valve is open, as the piston comes down, that piston's acting like a syringe, and it's sucking air into the cylinder. But a turbocharged engine or blower engine, you don't need to worry about that scavenging effect, because you're pushing air into the cylinder. But a naturally aspirated engine, if you're trying to get the maximum amount of horsepower out of it, you can sort of make it pull more air into the cylinder, and the more air in the cylinder, the more power it's going to make. The engine is just an air pump, so the more air you can get in and out of it, the more power it makes. There's a lot more to that, but that's just a basic little explanation. I might try to see if I can get some drawings of camshaft and the valve timing when the valves are open and closed, and the rocker arm ratio, and there's a lot to it. Hopefully some of you won't need to know all that, and like I said, every engine builder, they do things different. I'm not saying anything I do is right or wrong. It's just the way I do it and the way my mind works, to make an engine get as much air in and out of it as it can, and then it makes power. But everybody can make power, I guess. So that's the way this hillbilly does it. And if you learned something, great. If you already know how to do this, I guess, good for you. There's been a lot of people ask me about this, so I wanted to kind of explain it a little bit. And hopefully, if you watch the first four videos that I showed and this one, you understand a little bit more. And hopefully y'all have a good weekend. Bye.